Welcome back. In this video, we will be working on Pop the Balloon game. As you can read the instruction, I have to press space to start. As I press space, you will see the balloon appearing, and with the click of this arrow, ping the balloon. As it is getting popped, it is going to a new place. It is making the pop sound. It is changing color, and also score is changing. For this purpose, I have used two backdrops, and I have use two sprites. So I already have added two backdrops in my another tab where I'll be explaining the tutorial. So I already have written the instructions, press space to start in case you want to write the name of the game as well. You can write it, you can format it as you want, and you can resize it. I'm okay with this much, and let us start. So I'll first add the sprites here, which is balloon and the arrow. Yeah, this arrow. Now, if you notice, the arrow has four costumes, and I'm willing to use this one, but if the arrow moves, it will always point upwards. So for this purpose, what we'll do, we'll just rotate it a little. I'll select the arrow tool to select it, and now I'll just rotate it a little. Yeah. Now I'll start the coding for this game. So we'll start with balloon one. Um, there are two backdrops. Whenever you have multiple backdrops, you always need to reset the backdrops. Like when you start the game, the backdrop should be something else, which with the instructions. And when you actually want to play the game, the backdrop should switch. So there should be two different events to so that the player can get the control to start the game whenever they want. So I have chosen when flag is clicked and when space key is pressed for this. I've just added both the events here. Now, because when I click on the flag, I want to reset all the values, everything. So um, when I press flag, I want the backdrop to switch to blue sky 2, which is the instruction page. And then when space key is pressed, I want the backdrop to switch to circles. So let's test it once. Yeah, this is working. Now the problem is that both the sprites are still appearing on the instruction page. So let's hide both the sprites on when flag is clicked and show on space. So we'll go to looks, we'll hide it on when flag is clicked and show it on when space is pressed. Similarly, we'll do it for the arrow so that the arrow also doesn't appear on our instruction page. It looks neat. This way it looks neat. We'll go to events, we'll add the event when flag is clicked and when space key is pressed. Now let's test it. Yeah, perfect. Now we have to, the arrow has to follow the mouse pointer all the time. So what we are going to do, we are going to say forever, and that has to happen after we have come to the play backdrop, which is the circles. So I'm putting it on when space key is pressed. Forever, all the time, the arrow has to follow the mouse pointer. So for that, we'll use go to, and from this drop down, we will select mouse pointer. Let us test if the arrow is following the mouse pointer or not. Now both the sprites are invisible and perfect. This is following. However, the size is a little bit big, so let's resize the arrow. I'm making it 60%. Let's say fine, and balloon is also a little big. We can make it 80. Done. Now the arrow is done. Let us code the balloon. So here initially our reset button is done. let us work on our game code. So what I want, whenever, if the balloon is being touched by mouse pointer, is it with mouse pointer or any other sprite? So the sprite is arrow 1. Now remember, whenever you add if, this is a conditional block which will help you in code, in doing something when a condition is met, when a condition is true. So here I want to say that if this balloon is touched by arrow 1, then something should happen. I'm using if. Now, what do I want it to do? I want it to go to a random position. I want it to change its color. I also want it to make that pop sound. So I already have explained you why should we use start and not play. So I'm using start pop sound. Let's see if it is working. When I press flag, when I press space, it didn't work. The reason is this code says when space key is pressed, only then this should happen. But in this game, the arrow can touch the balloon 1 at any point in time. So we will have to add a forever here. Whenever you use if, always make sure that you use forever with it. So if balloon is being touched by arrow, start the pop sound, take it to a random position and change the color. Let's see how is it working now. I'll reset, I'll press space. This is fine, but the colors are not changing that much. What we'll do, we have said that change the color and it is changing only once. If you want the color effect to be a little longer, you can add repeat inside forever. So now when the balloon will be popped, the color will change 10 times. Let's see. Yeah, done. Now comes the coding part, the variable parts. We have already discussed score variable. I'll create score variable, and when the flag is clicked, I want variable to be set to 0, and when the arrow touches balloon, then the score should be changed by 1. So I'll add it here, and let's test it for the final time. Perfect. So that's how you make a balloon pop game. In this, we have learned about if, which is a new block today that we learned, and touching a sprite, which is from sensing.